All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Steve Jackson and Chris Haynes are back. Let's move to the Western Conference, where the Warriors put a rest to a lot of concerns about losing Kevin Durant, eliminating the Rockets on their home floor to advance to the Western Conference Finals. Golden State was able to pull off the win thanks to a monster 33-point second half from Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant posted his reaction to the win on Instagram, looking pretty pumped for his teammates. All right, the question here is, did the win over the Rockets diminish KD's accomplishments with the Warriors? And I have to say, with no disrespect to KD,
but about
yes, it did.
Oh my goodness.
You think so? I don't see that. I see it actually highlighting that this team is multifaceted and giving respect to Steve Kerr and his philosophy and his style of play, because these guys say, look, we could either let KD lead us, and that could look a little more ISO and stagnant, or we can go back to what we have in our DNA from training camp 3-4 years ago with Steve Kerr and saying, we're just going to play ball flow movement and have a motion offense, and we can do this together. So what amazing pliability you have as a team where you could go this way or that way and don't lose anything in terms of greatness. So no shot at KD, but they got a squad.
The biggest thing is when KD's on the court, he's the best player in the world, so they cater to him a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha.
When he's not on the court, Steph and Klay can be way more aggressive. They can do more things on the court. They're a championship team with KD. They're a dangerous team without KD, and it's just that simple.
How can you say that without him, though?
They was up 3-1 without him, too. That was a team 5 years ago with a different bench, different team. Totally different team. That was 5 years ago. That was a long time ago.
But would you hear that if you were Steph and Klay? Would you want someone to slice it up like that?
My confidence is still the same.
Right.
But these are the same guys that went to the Hamptons to recruit KD. You know what I'm saying? So they understand how good he is.
Yeah.
They're a championship team with him. Without him, they're a dangerous team.
Couple of things. First of all, I think if KD was not available for the entire series, I think Houston advances. I'll just put that out there right now. I think a lot of that game...
Let me ask you this, though, bro. Let me stop you there. Why do we got to speak in hypothetical? They just won 2
because
games
I'm gonna
in a row without...
I was about to bring that up. If we're talking about Game 6, look, there was a lot of motivation. Guys were inspired, to go out there and try to, so that was a lot of emotional wear that led to that game. Now, we're talking about that bench. This is the weakest bench that the Warriors have had during this whole championship run.
Right.
They need KD. It doesn't diminish that at all. Now, let's not get it twisted and take that Game 6 performance and think that they can just turn back the hands of time back to 2015 and continue to do this consistently.
No.
That dude right there, they know how important he is to the team. And I'll say this, and I'll let y'all go. After the game, unprompted, Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green all came out. We need KD. We need KD.
Ain't no question.
Yeah, we need KD.
Ain't no question about it.
We need him.
Bro.
Unprompted.
And I love it. That's what makes them have a great culture and a great team and great respect for each other. And so, look, man, we just talking about the fine details. Is Kevin Durant the best player in the NBA right now?
Yes.
Yes. However, if you can take the best player, name me another best player in the NBA you can take off a team and they can go out and win 2 consecutive playoff games against a good team. I just don't know if you take Jordan off, you take LeBron off some teams, you take Kobe off some teams.
Kareem, we're going way back. Kareem, when he was injured, and Magic went out there and said, give me that.
Yeah.
But
quadruple-double, and he played center.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I went 40 years back.
You had to go way back.
Hold on.
You had to go way back.
Miami Heat team, if you take LeBron off, you don't think they can win 2 games with Wade and
They
Ball?
didn't. No, we saying that it occurred.
Oh, it occurred.
Yeah,
but I would even say hypothetically. No, I don't.
You would have said that about KD and this squad. Every game was close. It was 6 points or fewer every contest. So if someone would have told you hypothetically.
But look, fair or unfair, here was the knock on KD. Man, they really didn't need you in Golden State. You're a luxury.
Everybody said
and you can't, this fuels that narrative a little bit like, hey, man, you're a luxury item. You're not essential. And again, he is still the best player in the NBA right now. I'm not taking that away from him. But to me, this makes it seem like, yeah, you probably do need to go to New York and do your own thing to really get the kind of credit you want.
Well, the people that's saying that mustn't see that same Golden State team be up 3-1 and lose a championship. They mustn't see that, because when KD came, they ain't lost since.
I saw that
to nobody.
Steve, let's be honest though. Draymond did something really stupid in that series that jacked that series.
No question, he did.
If Draymond doesn't do that, Golden State wins that championship.
They still should have won those games, even with Draymond
doing that. Right. But
that's still inexcusable.
You're making a point again.
Yeah.
Draymond goes out and they lose. They lose. KD goes out, they win.
Check this out. Say KD never returns for the rest of this postseason. You think Golden State is the favorite to win the championship?
No, I don't.
That says your importance. That speaks to the importance of KD.
No. We're going to let it play out. Let's let it play out. Let's see what happens. I know what I think. I think they will struggle. But I don't know. I thought they'd lose Game 5 and 6 against Houston without KD.
Right.
So let me see what happens first. All right, well, it was a big win for the Warriors, but another crushing playoff loss for James Harden. This is becoming a recurring theme for the reigning MVP, with his stats falling across the board when he's in the heat of the postseason in recent years. He's also been eliminated by the Warriors 4 of the last 5 years. All right, the question here is, did the James Harden's reputation take a hit during this postseason? And I say yes. Not quite a Russell Westbrook type meteor hit, but it certainly has taken a hit.
It's certainly taken a hit. I think it's bigger than even James Harden. This whole Houston organization is going to take a hit, but he's the leader of this issue. Now, the issue, hindsight, is 2020. Now, I figured it out. Like, damn, I should have never bet on Houston in this series because of this fractured mindset. Didn't catch it until it ended, and I realized they had crippled themselves going into the series. They thought last year when Chris Paul got hurt that they would be better when they get their missing star back. Next year when we get Chris Paul, we got him. Flip that over on his head. And I never thought about this. Like, if I was still playing, I would have. Guess what you're thinking? They're going to be worse if they miss their star. No, they ain't. You know what?
More dangerous.
You know, whatever it is, you got to get on that court and figure out what they're going to be. Don't get into the locker room. Don't get into the meeting room thinking we better and they worse. Because that's what happened in that game 5. Once KD went out, collective relaxation. They worse.
Right.
And I know in football, as soon as you start thinking that they're not better, this happened actually in 2011 with the Green Bay Packers. 15 guys on IR, they went to the Super Bowl. They was like, ooh, they won it. Next year, when we get everybody back, we're going back to back. Did they go back to back? Nah. So I saw that, and I realized that James Harden is leading that mindset, that culture that made them actually trip themselves up in that series.
Yeah, it kind of hurt him a little bit at the end of the game when I seen how he didn't have the sense of urgency, how he wasn't leaving everything out on the court. That made me look at him different. Just knowing he's the best player on the team and knowing he's not leading by example and not giving his all, that says a lot, and that shows why they didn't lose. I think for the most part, James needs to figure out how he can get somebody to come play with him, because it ain't gonna happen just him on that team. The way style of play, or change coach, but they got to change something there. But it didn't hurt him. It just hurt. It looked bad the way he finished the game, and I think a lot of people gonna hold on to that.
Well, I disagree slightly with you too. I think this is going to hurt him badly. I think this is going to be a negative stain that's going to be hard to scrape off. You said you don't think it reached the same
as Westbrook.
I disagree.
Yeah, me too.
Because Houston for 3 or 4 years have been obsessed with trying to take down the Rockets. Their general manager, players had come out publicly said we want them, and at times they even said they're better than the Warriors. So now, and then they talk to the Chris Paul thing. If Chris Paul was healthy last year, we would have won last year. Then they sent a memo to the league talking about the officiating. They cost them a chance to get to the finals. So now all that leading up to this moment, now the best player is out, and you lose game 5. Okay, you lost. Kevin Durant got hurt in the 3rd quarter, didn't play. You lost in Oakland, but now you go to game 6 without Kevin Durant over there, and you falter at home. You lose the seat at home. This, to me, is even bigger because the expectations were much bigger on James Harden than it was on Westbrook.
And worse than that, you lose to them in a Game 6 series clinching loss when you won 2 games on that same court when they had their best player. That's my point. Like somewhere
mindset.
Their mindset, they just said, oh, we got them. And all these memos and everything else is just really just like the debris of a fractured mindset that y'all think in the wrong way when y'all approach this team.
I think he's changed the narrative about himself, and maybe I'm wrong for saying it's not the same as Westbrook, because I think the same thing happened with Westbrook in terms of I'll never look at Westbrook's triple-doubles the same as I used to, and I'll never look at James Harden's 35, 36-point average in the regular season.
Why?
The way that I use, because I just don't think they mean much come April and May. I just don't. Hey, these are nice little numbers that you're putting up in the regular season, but I don't believe they mean winning come postseason. So I'll just never look at it the same. Both of them have been damaged.
And we've seen that before.
That makes sense.
The Phoenix Suns run, when you start seeing the numbers, you're like, oh, that
Steve Nash 2 times.
Yeah,
MVP.
but that's the thing. That's the thing we're doing now. We have to look at these numbers in a different context because of the way the game is sped up now. So now it's like, okay, triple doubles might have meant the world to us 10 years ago, but the way that the game is played now, where even when you get offensive rebound now, you got 14 seconds left, so you got to get the ball up. So you're gonna more rebounds are to be had, more points are to be had. So it's up to us to kind of find, okay, the context, okay, how significant are these numbers really true are?
Well, you know, and the Rockets fell victim to that. Okay, they don't have their star players. We're going to win this game easy. What they don't know is when you play against a team, when they star players out, they become more dangerous because everybody can play free. I don't know how they fell for that.
All right, coming up, social media had a field day with Aisha Curry's comments about her marriage.
Why y'all doing
Now
that?
Steph is pushing back.
Why they doing
Best
that?
and worst of social media.
They wrong.
I'm taking
That's
that one
so
off.
wrong.